Yeah, we are learning. We're still learning. Okay. Where is it? There is no. Probably it's loading.
It's live now.
It's live now.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, es pati vēl neredzu, bet sveiki visiem.
Your connection is weak, it says. Maybe that's why.
Okay, man tikko bija.
Ir pareizi tā ir.
Ir, es pat redzu sev. Un ar to arī jā, tiešām tev būs laikam jāpagriež tā kamera, jo mēs abi uz zāriņu guļam. Tā, interesanti. Izslēdz ārā un ejam vēl vienreiz. Ir labi?
Jā.
Man tikai nav. Ok.
Ir ok?
Ja kādam liekas, ka kaut kas nav ritīgi, ieliekiet mums komentos, ja? Ja mēs neesam pietiekuši taisni. Bet ok. Tā, mēs atvainojamies, ka mūsu sociālā darbiniece šodien ieradās. Savu pienākumu dēļ sociālā darbiniece vēl nav, jo joprojām nav ārā no tiesas. Viņa būs, nākamreiz obligāti būs, un es domāju, ka mums nebūs jāgaida nākošais mēnesis. Mēs noteikti nākamnedēļ, ja aiznākamnedēļ noteikti norganizēsim šo klasi ar sociālā darbinieka klātbūtni. Okay. We're gonna go English.
Yeah.
Time by time, if we need someone to us to speak Russian, please let us know if you are watching. Okay. I am expecting quite well, at least 2 moms worried sick with the questions. First question is going to be for father who just left the building. Yeah, he is asking, is it too late to inform police about child abduction? What happened was his wife went for holiday. There was a return ticket and everything was arranged. He didn't even suspect that she's not coming back.
Right.
It doesn't matter if she planned or not, but later, in a few weeks, she informed him that she is not coming, and there's nothing you can do. And also, we've been told.
How long ago was that?
A few months ago.
A few months ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's got the court arrangements already in place in Latvia. He's asking us to find a solicitor, which we did. We've got that all already in place. But in Latvia, this is seen sometimes more than like a civil matter, not a criminal matter, as it's in UK for the child adoption.
Is she planning to come back to UK?
No. That's what she says. She's not.
She's not planning.
Right. He's asking, would he need to get police involved?
Right. I can't say yes or no, but I would advise him to ring 101 and report it.
Yeah.
And then the officers dealing with this incident, they'll obviously look at it and they'll obviously tell him, you know, whether they, based on all the facts, which obviously are confidential and personal, we can't discuss at this moment of time, they will obviously tell the gentleman if they can take it further or not. But it's never too late. If people have doubts whether they're doing the right thing or not, we always encourage people to report
Even if
incidents
it's too,
even if it's too late, and you know, then the officer dealing, they will decide if it's if the matter is not going to go anywhere, or they will be investigating it, and what are the chances, you know, this matter could be resolved. For instance, people here in UK, they report historical rapes, which might have happened 20-30 years ago, but officers still investigate them. So I suppose, you know, it's never late. It depends on the evidence and circumstances, because every case is different from another. Okay?
I do apologize. I've got my mom's coming on wanting to speak with you.
Yeah? That's perfectly fine.
Okay. Lauriņ, ja tu redzi un dzirdi mūs, tad tu vari zvanīt, bet zvani lūdzu drīzāk vai nu uz landline vai uz mobilo, to, ko tu parasti zvani. There is mum who is being constantly harassed by the landlord.
In what respect?
Right, until she calls, I'm going to give you a slight insight. We know that side of story from that she lived in a property with her sex. He had a restraining order twice. It was repeated, but now
Against her, yeah?
Yeah. Now, because he was main tenant when she was subtenant,
Yeah.
she obviously stayed in the property. The agency refused to provide even signature when they taking your money. They taking your money, but they're not providing with signature, so she can't even claim housing benefit on all the entitlements because she can't prove liability for rent. What happens at this point? Landlord, he is happy to give her tenancy agreement. We've got with the shelter, everything established that the landlord at any time he can withdraw his application with the agency who was involved in the first place. But what is going on at the moment? He is constantly harassing her. And
in what respect he is harassing her, like constantly stalking her, ringing her, texting her? Is it on a
texting her.
Basis?
Yep, and he is simple as that. He is demanding sex. You're gonna have your rights and everything, just and on really nasty messages. And he's calling her, texting her in the middle of the night.
She needs to report this serious.
And when she is informing police, they telling her that's her. They telling her. They telling her that she is leading him. Sveiki, Laura, es lieku tev skaļu runu, ja? They kind of pointing out that she is maybe misleading you, and you need to change her number. So you can't, he can't reach you. But the fact is, why she is, she feels that she's in need to keep reply to him, because if he don't read the replies, he is coming to home. He's coming to her place in the middle of the night. He's trying to touch her, grab her. Lauriņ, grīz to skaņa nost, tev dziesmiņas tur skan, mums viņas traucē. So, ko tu tagad, Lauriņ, gribi prasīt policistiem?
Man interesē, pēc par to pašu dzīvošanu. Es visu pametu, lai tikai tiktu vaļā no viņa, bet viņš vēl vaļā mani terorizē ar īziņām, ar apvainojumiem.
Basically, what she is saying that she left the building just because she was scared of him, and she wanted to get rid of the situation, full stop. He's still harassing her with messages, demanding the same thing, and most importantly, in the middle of the night.
Yes.
And when she is replying only because just to make sure he's not coming into the property, because if he won't get any answers, he's going to be there.
So she doesn't live in his house anymore?
No, but she is desperate to get back because she's got a job with children
for us to do
in
something
school.
about it, she needs to report it one-on-one. Yeah,
One-on-one.
to investigate.
Or if he's coming into the property at night, can she call police? They're refusing to come.
Yeah, call
It's not
999
installed.
immediately. Yeah, call 999 immediately. Obviously.
Bet es visu pametu un es esmu līdz. Es tagad esmu šeit.
Yeah, she ran away. She's with her friend in Leeds because.
It doesn't matter, it's still 999.
Yeah.
And just ask for, obviously, Leeds. I cannot tell you which county they come from, but you know.
No, we'll find that one.
Yeah, for the relevant police and request an officer. Just go 999, don't let him in. 999 straight away. Or if she wants to report the matter 101, if she's not in an immediate danger,
Then it's 101 at, at this point.
All she needs to understand is if she wants to make a complaint, okay, she needs to be prepared to go to court and obviously provide a statement. That's important. Because a lot of people, they think, the matter will be resolved if we get involved. But without their statements and without them being prepared to attend court, that's not possible. So they have to be cooperative and obviously, work alongside with us to resolve the matter.
Lauriņ, tu dzirdēji to visu, vai man te pārtulkot ātri?
Pārtulkot, jā.
Tātad, ja viņš pie tevīm atnāk, pieņemsim tagad pie durīm, kaut arī vecajā mājā, jeb jaunajā mājā, tev ir noteikti jāzvan 999 tad, kad tajās reizēs, tā, ka viņš pie tevīm nāca tajās naktīs. Ja tu tagad esi...
Ko man tagad darīt?
Tagad? Jā.
Vienkārši man liek zināt, ko man tagad darīt.
Tagad.
Viņš jau joprojām turpina rakstīt. Viņš jau joprojām seksuālas īziņas man sūta.
Jā.
Par orālo seksu tas normāli viņai šķiet.
Viņa jau redz policistu, man nav redzējis tās mesiģis, es neesmu parādījis viņai. Viņa tikai dzird no manī to. Bet ko es tev saku, Lauriņ, ka tev ir, šajā gadījumā tev ir jāzvana 101 un jāuztaisa obligāti ir reports. Vai tu izdarīji to jau šodien?
Es mēģināju, tikai es nesazvanīju.
Okay. Ja tādā gadījumā tev vajadzēs uz turienu aiziet, bet ko tev tagad vajadzētu izdarīt? Obligāti uztaisīt reportu policijā, obligāti vienalga, kur tu esi un kur tu izdomāsi palikt, bet obligāti uztaisīt reportu. Pie manīm ir visi pierādījumi arī, mēs tev noteikti atbalstīsim, bet pats fakts tagad ir, kad uz doto brīdi vairāk neatbildi, tāpēc, ka tu esi...
Maybe she can use like evidence of the messages also for the
No,
police.
obligāti, jā.
Yeah, keep the
Yeah.
messages
And there is
down.
like
We've
there's
got plenty of messages, we've got this.
Can I just ask a question? How does he know her new address if she moved to
No,
Liverpool?
he doesn't. He doesn't know address. He doesn't know that where she
And
is.
he's in Spalding area,
He is in Peterborough,
Peterborough.
and she is in Leeds now.
She can speak to her network provider. That's the, at least, smallest thing she can do about it is to speak to her network provider and get his number blocked. And problem solved. You won't be able to contact her.
it's easier to go to the Google Play Store, download the app, and you can block the
Jā,
numbers.
jā, protams. Jā. Jā, to es saprotu. Jā. Yeah, he did kind of go around in the messages all the time, kind of gave hints that what he wants. But it was kind of quite polite, but the latest ones are really nasty. Just face, this is what you have to do if you want me to help you. And yeah, obviously, Lauri, mēs to tādā gadījumā.
Tell the lady not to get upset and obviously to report him.
Jā, nekādā gadījumā nevajag vairāk pārdot tik daudz, tāpēc, ka tu esi prom, jo viņš pie turiem vairāk tev nepienāks, bet obligāti izdari to, ko mēs runājām, jau noteikti uztaisa to reportu. Un tad, Lauri, es tev tālāk pārējo visu nevaru vinēt, ja man nebūs šie rekordi policijā. Pēc tam tālāk visu ar atpakaļējošu datumu mēs varēsim pierādīt, tev viss ir. Ir. Viņš pat arī man ir pateicis caur puķītēm it kā, tā kā tu neuztraucies, to mēs tev atbalstīsim, tikai vienīgais tagad obligāti uztais to reportu. Ja tev Pīterboro neizdevās noreportēt to, jo es zinu, ka tu gāji un tev nekooperēja ar tevim, tad tur līdzā noteikti tev izdosies. Vajadzības gadījumā tu atbrauks pie mums uz Spaldingu. Ja?
Jā, labi. Varbūt es varu dabūt kaut kādu telefonu numurus, kā es rītā varu uzvarīt.
101.
Labi, un viņiem īsti prasīt. Es esmu apjukumā.
Tev viņiem ir jāsaka, ka tev ir jāpasaka, pirmkārtām tu vari paprasīt, can she ask for translation?
Yeah, certainly.
Jā, tu
We've got
pazvanīsi,
access
paprasīsi.
to language line, so yeah.
Jā, tātad tu pazvanīsi, paprasīsi tulku un stāstīsi visu tā, it kā tu stāstītu man visu no jauna. Droši piemini mūs, droši piemini visus, kas ir bijuši iesaistīti. Noteikti pasaki, kad vakardienas mesiģus palīdzēja tev tās draudzenes partneris rakstīt, jo jūs mēģinājāt vienkārši varbūt no viņa skaidru un gaišu ārā to, ko viņš nepārtraukt mūs prasa. Jā, tev tas nepalīdzēs, kad tu esi atbildējusi, jo tas varētu izskatīties. When she reply to the messages, would that be seen, because I think it is, would that be seen as that she is misleading him?
Well, I don't know until, we see
Seeing
the
the
messages,
messages, yeah.
but, if she can tell the truth, the reason why
Yeah.
she replied that way.
Yeah,
it's just-
exactly.
Es rakstīju tikai, lai tā būtu pierādījums, jo es
Jā.
nevaru apvainot cilvēkiem, man pierādījumi nav.
Jā, Lauriņa,
Es
tas mums ir jau no paša no sākta gala, bet tas tur bija caur puķītēm. Tagad tev ir stingri pierādījumi.
Jā.
Un tagad vairāk
Es arī
viņam,
mēģināju dabūt
Jā.
kaut ko uzsākt.
jā, tieši tā,
Viņš no manis vēl iedomājās pieprasīt gandrīz 3000.
jā, Lauriņa,
Varbūt par to, ko es man tev stupējā mājā atstāju, bet man bērniem te veselības problēmas, tagad ir tas stupā pelē viņam kaut kādi, es iekaisu no pleķi.
jā. Labi, par to mēs pēc tam runāsim tālāk zem vizītē, bet tagad uz doto brīdi noteikti noziņo. Protams, mēs tev savācam visus pierādījumus, tev ir visi pierādījumi.
Ja vajag, es ar telefonu atdot, lai viņi
Jā.
skatās iPad.
Jā, labi. Ok, Lauriņa, tev ir kaut kāds jautājums, apkopo un zvani apakaļ, jā?
Jā, tagad nav, es sagaidīšu rītā viņā zvanīšu.
Labi, un viņam vairāk neatbild. She should stop reply. Am I right?
Yeah, I wouldn't reply.
Jā. Tagad tu esi drošībā, tagad tu vairs neesi savā mājā, tu tagad
Jā.
apstājies, lai ir pilnībā skaidri un gaiši pierādījumi, ka tu to darīji tādēļ, ka tev bija bail, lai viņš nenāk pa durīm iekšā tā, kā arī bija. Ja?
The easiest thing she can do is just to block his number
Jā,
from her own phone. If she-
tas ir tas, ko
she's got a
policists mums
smartphone.
saka, Zāra, ka tagad tu varētu mēģināt vienkārši nobloķēt to viņa numuru.
So he can't.
Nē, es gribu, lai viņi, tāpēc, ka viņš jau joprojām mani terorizē, viņš man šodien man uzrakstīja.
Jā, tas nozīmē, ka tu vienkārši vairs neatsaucies. Lai viņš
Jā,
turpina
es
rakstīt.
Viņš arī zvana?
Līdz ar to policija pati varēs pārliecināties, ka man
Video
nav
ne,
viena
bet tas
nakts
tur
nedēļā.
zvana ierakstītājs. Google Play Store.
Jā,
Tur
tas
ierakstīt
ir kaut kas
visu
tāds,
sarunu.
ko mēs nedrīkstam ieteikt. Jā, there is an app on a phone that you can download and record calls when it comes. But then at that point, that person on the other side, he needs to be informed before each call. This message is recorded. He needs to. Ja tu tādu, Lauriņu, vari paņemt to apu, uzlādēt uz telefoniņu un ierakstīt to zvanus, ja viņš turpinātu vēl zvanīt. Un tu viņam obligāti...
Es nevaru, jo man ir otrs telefons, kuram vispār tādas funkcijas
Nu, ok, jā, ok, tas nozīmē, ka viņš zvan uz to otru, jā?
Jā.
Tad neatsaucies. Jā, neatsaucies un necel vairāk un neatbild uz mesiķiem vairāk. Pagaidām, kamēr tu esi līdzā, tu esi drošībā.
Jā.
Jā? Ok, tad
Galvenais,
turpinām.
lai kāds nāk pretī un kaut ko dara, jo savādāk man vienkārši visiem man zāles ir jādzer.
Nu jā, tas ir skaidrs. Labi, Lauriņa, laižam nākošus pie teikšanas. Tālāk pēc tam aizkadrā, jā? Ok.
Jā, paldies, atā.
Atā.
Bless her, she sounds very upset. And I know it's said of them, but we normally advise victims of, harassment,
Jā.
any type of, well, it's not a domestic abuse really, because they don't live in the same household, but
Nothing, jā.
yeah, normally we advise people not to get upset, just to do something about it, to inform the right people.
See, she was very collected at the beginning, but
Yeah.
tagad tā. Ja es tagad paceļu telefonu, man, vai mēs apvienosimies, tu nezini,
Par ko?
jo man zvana klienti.
Tu vari atbildēt.
Es varu atbildēt,
Jā. Kāpēc ne?
bet šitas video mums nepārtrauks, ne?
Caur Messenger zvanīt? Es domāju, ka var.
I've got a basic answer to obviously all your questions
Jā.
related to childcare, if you want to discuss them
Ieliec lūdzu viņai telefonu numuriņu šeit iekšā.
tonight.
Jā.
I've spoke to a few people from PPU, our Public Protection Unit, with regards to, because I'm not aware of a certain age, you can leave children alone. There's no such a law.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk about it? Or
Yes, please, yeah, because actually parents are really confused which age. Normally they say 11, 12ish, but
Yeah, normally it's they normally recommend that these kids are in secondary school. start with, okay. Never leave babies or young children home alone under no circumstances, because this is when, say, 5 years old boy left at home all day, on his own. This is when children's services are getting involved. And if we do get a report from a member of the public or a neighbour, we have to act upon it, go to the address, establish if this child is left on his own or it's with an adult. If it's left on its own, we take the child with us and then we ring social services. And then they start in the whole procedure, obviously with the parents, and I can now obviously discuss what happens next, because I'm not an expert, but that's what normally we do.
And when the police, who informs police to go to the house and take the child, and how the parents can protect themselves if they obviously receive this visit from the police officer and they're saying, we are here, take your child away?
We don't normally get involved. Yeah, you can obviously
Okay.
finish that.
Tā, mēs tagad esam abas dzīvi, jā?
Jā,
Jā, tu sevi noteikti redz video, ja tu skaties video arī. Vēl, tu dzirdi sevi. Ok, labi, pēc tam tu paskatīsies video, bet galvenais tagad saki mums savus kreņķus, kas tev šodien notika.
Šodien tāda situācija, ka tas policists piezvanīja, kā lika man saprast, kad man laikam tā kā ir jāsaka, ka es to vēru sasitu, tāpēc, ka viņš man caur tūku lika, kā viņš man teica, par cik ir galīgais stāsts svētdienas.
Jā. Tātad, šodien policija tev pasaka un pasaka, ka vai tev tiešām nav vairs mums ko teikt, jo izskatās, ka tu neesi mums teikusi taisnību aptuveni tādu. Tā saprašana?
Es tā kā saprotu to, jā. Es to tā arī to saprotu, jā.
Un ko viņš no tevīm prasa, ko viņš liek tev darīt tajā brīdī?
Trešdien mums ir kā tā satikšanās sakarā ar šo lietu.
Jā.
Jo trešdien man ir tā kā darbinieki nāca pretim, tā kā, jā, kad mēs ar to bērniņu varētu tikties. Savas lielās ir tagad paņēmuši aprūpē, jā, manu mazo meitiņu, kad tās dienas gribēja palīdzēt, lai mēs tiekamies. Un pirms tās, viņš man uzreiz tā piekune, un pirms tās tikšanās es gribu ar tevi tikties.
Ok. Jā. Ok, un tad policijas message šodien, ka viņi tev pazvana, pasaka, ka vai nav nekā tāda, ko tu gribi mums pateikt, jo mums tad ir ārsts slēdziens un neizskatās, ka tu saki taisnību, ja?
Ne jau pa telefonu, jā, bet viņi tieši vienlaiks uz policiju, viņi vēl tagad brauc pakaļ ar mašīnu.
Jā.
Jā. Vēl pirmā no tā, es jau šodien biju pie tā Argīna Moroza, jā, uz City Council un viss. Viņš man tā kā drusku nomierināja, viņš tā kā tādu drusku mierīgāku nāku mājās, un tagad viņš man tas policija šitā, tad ir tas, vispār akals nevar gulēt, es vispār neguļu jau no brīvdienu.
Ok, es...
Cilvēka vispār ir bail. Viņam visu laiku ir uzbraukoši policija, jā.
Ok, es pastāstīšu tagad policistei par pašu to situāciju, protams, neminot ne vārdus, ne arī, kur tas viss notiek, bet tajā pašā laikā, lai viņai ir saprašana, ja? Par ko iet runa. Right, there is single mom, it's bath time at night. Child is in a bath and she basically filled the bath with everything what she could get around in a bathroom. Shampoo, and this is not what mom told me now, I've got the story behind. Shampoo, conditioners, and it happens. Taking into consideration everything what mom told me, it sounds like the child took the hair color as well. She was about to dye the hair, and apparently she used this, whatever this liquid is, which makes it itchy, the skin, obviously child's skin.
Peroxide?
Something, whichever it was for the color.
Yeah, bleach, like a bleach.
And as soon the skin gets irritated, she called mum, and she pulled herself a bath already, the water running away, but mum came into the bathroom, quickly started to wash everything off. She was very concerned about the chemicals getting into all sorts of places, obviously. And mum, she had the nails like me, but two of them were broken, and she, before that day, she clipped them off. Obviously, they are like a plastic.
Sharp.
They're really sharp. And mum, in that quick shock when she was bathing the child, she scratched her. On that day, it wasn't nothing. She didn't see. She saw the scratches, and the little one said, "No, it's fine. Don't feel anything." Next morning, mum gave her daughter to oldest daughter, and take to the school. She mentioned to the daughter, and the daughter, cik ir vecākā māsiņa, veca? 24 years old. 24 years old. Yeah, so she's mum herself, and she told her daughter, "Could you please inform school that what happened, because just to make sure." Daughter, she looked at the scratches. She said, "Mom, come on, it's nothing." And to be honest, I can understand. We Latvians, my Lithuanian clients, they would never think that is something worthwhile taking teachers' time. So she didn't say anything. On the next day, there is blue nasty scratches. My understanding from everything what mum told me, that these chemicals all together with the scratches made the marks totally different than it would be from nails. But when mum was informed that the doctor's opinion, the doctor says that no way, these are scratches from nails. We know why, but they don't even let her to explain. Today, police officer called her. She said that she's very scared of this police officer because he is always very intimidating. And she said that is she allowed actually to ask some other police officer maybe to call her, get in contact in the future, because she is very scared of him. And that's one thing. And the fact is how she can make sure that she can prove herself right. We spoke with mum at this point that she would leave the nails as it is. Basically, because you need evidence. So she is not going to the nail technician at this point, but she is very, very scared what to do.
What she should have done was after the accident at home, because I don't know how old is the child.
Cik meitiņai gadi? 5.
5. She should have taken the child to A&E. That's what she should have done, just to get checked.
Yeah.
Routine check, could have been nothing.
Yeah.
Then she could have obviously explained there and then,
what happened.
What actually happened, not to wait until somebody else approaches her to ask
Yeah.
her. If she
Obviously, she didn't even realize that there's something that's gonna come up in a few days, because when she checked, she saw that really nothing, and she checked with the daughter, "Are you okay?" And little one said, "No, I'm fine, don't worry."
Basically what it is, if the little one is 5 years old, they probably, if they have to, I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but if they've got to, they're going to interview the little boy or girl as well, in a special, unit, via video, link, and they, specially trained people, it's not going to be like a normal interview. She shouldn't be worried too much if, obviously she hasn't done anything wrong. My advice, for the future is, if something similar happens, just to obviously, go to A&E at first instance.
Make a note.
and to obviously, obviously she can prove, she's done something about it immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. And then of course, she could have, talked to the school in person. I would have done anyways, She should have approached the school, not to obviously leave her daughter to the side, because although the daughter is helping, she's the person in charge of this child. So at the end of the day, the responsibility will come back on her. So just to be on the safer side, to inform the school, for the future for any accidents. With regards to the police officers, they all have to be official, I'm afraid, and you cannot show a lot of empathy when dealing with people, obviously with victims of crime and suspects, obviously because you have to stay professional, you can't show that, well, we do, but not to, the extent she would have probably expected that person to.
Be friendly.
Yeah, be friendly. Don't worry about, to give reassurance that we have to stay neutral, not to take sides until the investigation is going. So that's how I sort of, obviously behaved and spoke to her in the same manner, because they have to stay professional.
But when she said that she's scared of him, can she actually ask if someone else can get involved?
Yeah, if she thinks, she feels scared, or if she feels this particular person is intimidating, she can go and, obviously, just make a note, or if she wants to speak to a sergeant and say how she feels, they may decide, if she's a suspect, if that's the victim, normally that happens with victims of crime, but if she's suspected, obviously it is some sort of an offence, then I don't think, she's got a big choice, but she can always, give it a try. Yeah, as I said to her, nothing against her, it's just the way officers have to be, professional, and obviously not to show many emotions as such, empathy, that's the reason behind it, that's how officers normally, speak to people in a professional manner without showing many emotions.
Tātad mums tas, kas attiecās uz policistu nostāju, tā kā tev liekas, ka tev no viņa ir bail, tu vari prasīt, lai tev varbūt kāds cits oficieris ar tevi turpmāk sazinās, bet tai pašā laikā policijas droši vien esot bijis ļoti centies būt profesionāls. Mums traucē. Policists ir centies būt profesionāls un vērs, ieturēt distanci, jo tas ir tas, kas viņiem ir jādara. Viņiem ir jābūt. Lūk, ja tu jūties tā, tad tev visas tiesības ir prasīt, lai ar tevi sazinās kāds cits oficieris un pateikt, ka tev no viņa ir bail. Tas ir viens. Otrs ir, protams, pats sākums. Jau pašā sākumā, jau pirmajā vakarā vajadzēja tev sazināties ar aizbraukt uz ātriem, izsaukt ātros. Droši vien jau neviens nebrauktu, bet vienkārši aizvest uz ātro palīdzību meitiņu un parādīt, kas ir noticis. Tieši tas ir tas, ko es arī savai policistē tagad saku. Tu jau pārvaitāji meitiņai, vai viss ir kārtībā, un meitiņš saka, ka nekas nekaiš. Un arī tev neizskatījās arī tajā vakarā, un arī nākušā dienā pat neizskatījās, ka kaut kas kaiš. Tātad tev nebija pamats vispārībā uztraukumam. Un arī tev vecāka. Jā. Jā. Tas nozīmē, ka tagad uz doto brīdi tev vienkārši ir jākooperē ar sociālajiem un policiju, protams, ja? Atceries, ka mēs runājām abas divas, kad mums dikti vajadzētu sastādīt tavu paskaidrojumu, jo tev ir jāpasaka sava puse. Jo tad, kad tev, pieņemsim, policija priekšā vai sociālajie, un tu esi uztrauksies, tad tu droši vien izdarīsi to pašu, ko tu pirmajā dienā izdarīji. Ka tu biji dikti uztraukusies, un tu pati jūti, ka tu esi pateikusi daudz ko, ja varbūt neuzvedusies tā kā vajag, tikai tādēļ vien, ka tu biji pārbijusies, jo tev bērniņu ved prom.
Jā.
Tātad mums noteikti vajadzīgs tas rakstiskais paskaidrojums sastādīt. Vai tev...
Bet man jau pavēlas rītā uz darbu, un trešdien man jau no rīta viņš ved uz policiju.
Vai tev ir... Visas tas stāsts ir zināms arī tev tur uz vietas, tavējiem pārstāvjiem, kas tev taisījās ir kā pārstāvēt, vai viņi tev var uztaisīt to vēstulīt, ja ne, tad arī mums ir zināms, un mēs tev to vēstuli sastādām. Jā, un kāds jums rezultāts ar viņu šodien bija un ar sociālajiem?
Viņa to man arī pastāstīja to, kad it kā man viņa teica, kad var par to policiju, jā, kad policija izskatīs to lietu, jā. Un vairāk pēc montai piezvanīja darbinieki, meitē lielie.
Jā.
Viņa atkal neko tādu nestāstīja, viņa atkal pateica, ka viņa tieši pretiem grib nākt, viņa grib, lai bērnu, pēc kāda laika man arī piezvanīja pēc policijas. Acīm redzot, sadarbība bija tā, ka tā dienas deva ziņu laikam tam policistam, lai es ar to bērnu tiktos, tad pirms tam viņa laikam bija par mani, lai tieši mani nopratināt uz visu.
Jā, Klaus, tagad lai...
Es nezinu, kā lai es tieku, jau galvāk es nevaru cilvēkiem ieskaitot. Nevar viens ārsts pateikt, tu teici parasti ārsts.
Yeah, Mom is very emotional about doctor's opinion. Jā. Jā, bet šī mazliet drauciņas tev pārstraukšu. Es pastāstīšu, tāpēc, kad mēs tagad divas runājam un cilvēkiem nevienam nav skaidrība. She tried to scratch herself, to prove herself, to...
she doesn't need to obviously get
she wanted to see
extreme measures. Yeah, I appreciate that. She's very upset. That's her own child. She knows better how she's.
Yeah, and she's afraid that police, when they're gonna see the scratch herself on her own legs, then they're gonna think that she's mental.
She doesn't need to go that extreme. No, that's not the way to prove things. Well, she needs to calm down. If you tell her to calm down, that's the first thing. If she hasn't got anything to hide, she's not worried about she's done anything wrong, then she shouldn't be worried that much. The role of the police is to investigate. A serious allegation has been made. Okay.
They don't listen, Mom. They don't listen, Mom.
How does she know they don't listen?
They say that they taking decision based on doctor's opinion, and doctor's opinion is straightforward. It's not from nails. End of. Mom saying that the doctor didn't even consider any tests or anything. The doctor just looked at the scratches.
So what is she worried about now?
Because child is going to be taken away. It is taken away already. It's removed from her, and she is desperate to prove that exactly.
Is the matter going to court? Is she going to court for it?
No, now at this point we've got only a few days in the case, and it's already close to, well, it's only beginning, and the police and socials are only involved at this point. There is no court yet. And she is desperate to learn where to go to prove herself innocent, because that was exactly what happened. No one is trying to give her a chance to prove how did actually the scratches appeared.
I would find a good solicitor in this case.
Okay, tad darīsim tā, kā es jau tev teicu, jau svētdien, ka mēs apsarunājam, atceries. Es atradīšu tev advokātu. Tev ir vajadzīgs advokātu.
Jā, bet man arī teica, ka vēl uz to momentu man nevajag advokātu. Visi advokāti ir pa naudu, man tādas naudas nav.
Es atradīšu tev advokātu, kas ir pavelti, jo cik es saprotu, tev ir, tu esi uz attiecīgiem pabalstiem, un advokāts nekad nav par agru, nekad advokāts nav par agru iesaistīts. Mom is saying that she was informed in the council with the community officer that there is no need for solicitor. To be honest, I don't agree, because there is no too early for solicitor.
She can always speak to a solicitor and get an independent advice.
Exactly, and also
the solicitor would be more obviously
settled
with the right person, to advise her on the legal side.
Yeah.
As I said, that's not within my remit or
my
field, but solicitors, they can give advice to people. So if there's nothing to worry about it, he'll probably say you don't need to do anything, you'll get your child back eventually after, the procedure is finished. But I completely understand why they've taken the child away, because there is a concern for this child, and they have to prove until they prove otherwise, she can't have it back.
Yeah.
Because the children are quite vulnerable and they can't speak out for themselves.
Yeah.
Hence, they're taking every incident involving children so
Yeah.
serious in this country. That's the only
Ok,
reason behind
paliekam
it.
pie tā, kā mēs jau runājām. Noteikti vajadzētu iesaistīt advokātu.
Jā.
Es ļoti centīšos dabūt advokātu, kas tev ir pavēlti, jo es ticu, ka tev pienākās. Un tad laidīsim tagad nākošos pie teikšanas, ja kāds vēl ir kāds zvanītājs, bet daram tā, kā mēs jau bijām sarunājuši. Noteikti jāuzstājas ir šī vēstule, paskaidrojums pilns.
Bet man jau pavēlu, būs man trešdien jau jāiet pie ārsta.
Es rītā varu uztaisīt. Es rītā tev varu uztaisīt to vēstulīti.
Jūs visi atceraties, jā?
Jā, protams.
Jo, principā, viņi iesāka to tēmatu, tāpēc, ka bērns negribēja iet uz skolu, bet kāpēc viņš negribēja? Man ir visi tie, varbūt rītā vēl pārsvarā.
Jā, tagad mēs neiesim detaļās, tāpēc, ka visi cilvēki, kas skatās šo video, visi dzird.
Thank you, bye.
You're
Jā,
welcome.
sazvanīsimies pēc tam.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
I can understand why she's so emotional. It's obviously concerning her own child, but if she's got nothing to worry about,
If she is nothing to hide.
yeah,
For
then she shouldn't
instance,
be,
yeah. I totally understand she didn't inform doctors and anybody in time.
yeah,
Us Latvians who is watching,
Yeah.
we totally understand why she didn't say anything, because in
yeah,
Latvia we've been told, come on,
yeah.
yeah, scratch it seriously.
It's kind of a cultural thing, which I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But it's just for people to remember if any, domestic accidents, involving kids, to obviously, if there is a concern for the kids, even if there's no visible injuries or what have you, there's always,
Safer.
always, safe, and it's worth going to A&E at least, to
So
obviously-
you can, basically, a parent can show the intentions to take in charge from the
Yeah, be on the
minute.
safer side,
First,
absolutely, yeah, and I'm
Tātad
sure
no
that
pirmās minūtes, tiklīdz, ka kaut kas ir noticis, vecākiem ir noteikti jādodas pie ārsta, jānoziņo ārstam, pat ja ārsts pateiks, ka tas ir pilnīgi lieki, nekādā gadījumā neizdomājiet pie sevīm, ka tas nav nekas. Labāk aiziet pie ārsta drošības pēc, lai jūs varētu demonstrēt to, ka jūs esat iesākuši procesu paši, nevis, ka jūs bijāt nevīžīgi vecāki un nelukāties nezins.
So yeah, that's important thing to do. Yeah.
Cool.
For the safety of the children. at
Kas
the
mums
end of
tur,
the day.
manējais telefoniņš, manējais.
What we've got in this leaflet, and this leaflet was designed by one of my colleagues from PPU, Public Protection Unit in Boston. Just a basic guidance for obviously children being left at home, and it's important to know a few points. Obviously we've said never leave babies or young children alone at home, even if you just gonna go to the shop for 2 minutes, that's not acceptable at all. You can be held responsible for that. Most children under the age of 13, although there's no such a limit, when we talk about age, they're not mature enough to cope with an emergency if left alone, hence we advise people not to leave them alone. Child or young person under 16 years of age, under no circumstances leave them at home on their own overnight. So overnight 16 and then 13 years of age if they're going to be staying by themselves at home. Always remember, if possible, leave a telephone number where the parent or the appropriate adult can be contacted and be available to answer immediately if there is an emergency. Although it's very important you tell guys to your children about their safety at home and point out for potential dangers. For example, tell them not to answer the door for strangers or people they don't know. That's very important. Could be anybody. Give them clear instructions about what to do if there is an emergency. And all children left alone at home, they should be able to deal with emergencies, which means they should be old enough to understand what an emergency is and what to do in case of emergency if they're staying at home on their own. Obviously to dial 999 and request police, ambulance or the fire brigade. Leave a list of trusted people they can contact, that's very important. That could be relative, friend of yours, older brother, sister, anyone, people who are trusted and known by the children. Put obvious dangers out of reach of children, that's probably relevant to the lady we just talked to. Medicines, chemicals, matches, sharp objects, so make sure those items are kept away just for the safety of the kids. Make sure that the child is happy with the arrangements, so you can't just force them to do that, they have to be happy and be able to understand it. Okay, and confidence about being left on their own at home, that's important. Don't leave them on their own against their will. Tell the child when you'll be back and make sure you'll be back on time if you're leaving the child on his own. And then of course it depends on their age, you can't leave a 2-year-old baby on his own and just tell the baby I'll be back in 10 minutes, just gonna go to the shop. That's not happening at all. We're talking about children over 13 years of age. Okay, there is some information with very important contact details on this leaflet. If you need further advice, you should be able to get it from the Public Protection Unit, which is a department within the police force. And of course, we always encourage people, if they suspect a child being neglected, to obviously report this crime to 101 or 999. And this leaflet is done in a few languages. I'm going to leave it here to Lyman. If people want to have a copy of it, they're welcome to receive a copy. It is a practical guide to child safety and leaving children home alone. Just the basic points being covered about this.
We've got next call.
Next call. I feel like sitting in the studio,
Yeah, except it's not even funny, the subjects.
No, that's all. Yeah.
Marija, Klau, vai tu runā arī angliski pati, lai tas ietaupītu mums tulkošanu, jeb tu man runāsi latviski? Vai tu dzirdi mani, Marija? Ok, tad saki man lūdzu jautājumu, ko prasam policistei.
Jā, man bija arī tāds variants. Es gribēju braukt uz Pakistānu, jo tēvs bija Pakistānā. Un mums nebija, mēs bija precējušies, tad mums nebija, tā kā bērnu tiesības viņam nebija atņemtas. Un viņš aizbrauc 4 mēnešiem uz Pakistānu.
Ar bērnu?
Jā, pēc tam viņš aizbrauc viens pats. Es pēc tam viņš nopirku biļeti man un bērnam, lai aizbrauktu, bet tēvs ir slims Pakistānā. Un lai aizbrauktu mēs uz Pakistānu, apciemot viņa tēvu. Tā viņš ir slims. Policijiem arī sociālie man atnāca uz manu darbu, paprasīja mani izsauca, jo man bija atnāca arī pie cilvēkiem pieskatīt. Un tad viņi teica, varētu parunāt, un tā iesēdināja pēc tam man mašīnā, pēc tam aizveda mani uz darbu. No ārpus viņi paņēma man sazvanīja policiju, un policija atbrauc un aizveda mani paprasīja, kur tas bērns ir, un es aizvedu parādīju, kur man tas bērns savāda to bērnu, aizveda man uz policijas iecirkni, un pēc tam no policijas iecirkni paņēma man, viņi gribēja ņemt no to bērnu, viņi paņēma, nedēļ, tad man ne tūks, ne atbordās, nekas nav, un viņi paņēma man nogrūda zemē un noņēma bērnu, un bērnu klātbūtnē tas viss notika.
Vārds sakot, tu saki, kad bērnu tad, kad tev atņēma policiju?
Jā, viņi pateica, ka jānoņem no, viņi nelaida mani pāri robežu uz Pakistānu. Mēs bija izšķīrušies, bet tēvs viņam saļģēs, viņam nebija noņemtas bērnu tiesības.
Un tu saki mums tagad šodien, kad tu gribēji braukt uz Pakistānu un tevi nelaida un ņēma bērnu nost?
Jā, noņēma arī nost, viņi paņēma man nost.
Un uz kādu pamatu viņi noņēma bērniņu?
Tāpēc, ka tēvs bija Pakistānā, viņi negribēja laist man uz Pakistānu.
Skaidrs. Ok. Jā, es sapratu. Ļauj man tagad iztulkot policistē, labi?
You can only understand Pakistan, so basically the other parent is from Pakistan.
Yes, yeah.
Good guess.
He is Pakistani. He went to the back to Pakistan, asked her to join them because grandfather was ill. So father's responsibilities and mother's, they're all in place now. No one is released from their responsibility. She took the child and he purchased the ticket. She went to Pakistan. In the airport, she was refused to go. The child was taken away. She said that it was quite unpleasant scene. She was even pushed on the floor. The child was taken away and told that police told her that you're not leaving. You're not going to go. Whatever reason, police decided that they're not going to go to Pakistan. She didn't have any explanation. Kā tu domā, kāpēc? Vai kāds bija noziņojis, ka tev ir
That's strange, because there should be a legal, reason as to why the officers acted that way.
So basically, I'm just guessing that because Mum is telling me this story quite a while ago, because of the political situation on the involvement. No. Yeah, and school refused. Kā tu domā, vai tas bija tāpēc, es tev atļaušu pārtraukt, tāpēc, ka mēs dikti gari to tām, es mēģināšu saīsināt, vai tas ir tāpēc, ka tu gribēji izņemt bērniņu ārā skolas holidejā, vai viņi vienkārši uzskatīja, ka uz to valsti nedrīkst braukt? She wanted to take child out of the school holiday, out for holiday for 4 weeks as minimum, but school told that she is not allowed, and because of the Pakistani and all the...
That might be the reason.
Yeah.
Why,
Yeah, well, it wasn't only because of the out of the school without permission, without consent, but they also told her that this is not the country where you want to go.
Probably they have concerns for the child.
Safety.
But what happens in this country if a child doesn't go to school? Mom can be, or dad can be sent to prison.
Jā, well, tas ir tas, kas tev arī, tad, kad skola tev pateica, ka tu nedrīksti braukt, likums tajā brīdī bija tāds, kad skolas...
They're liable for to pay big admin fee, not admin fees, like penalty, basically.
Yeah, penalties and sometimes even taken away. Yeah. Es labi, Marija, es tagad šito visu paprasīšu policistē un pēc tam te uzrakstīšu apakaļ atbildi, jo mums dikti stiepjās tā stunda. Oh yeah, she was pregnant. She was pregnant and she was pushed on the floor, so they didn't even consider.
Has she told them, she was pregnant?
Tajā brīdī pateici policistiem, ka tu esi stāvoklī. Yeah.
Obviously, to put her on the floor, she resisted, the whole thing. Hence,
Because she resisted, yeah. Probably police saw that as a
but even
miscooperation.
if they do that, they do it in a safe way, so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
We're specially trained to do this in a safe way, so we don't hurt people.
Yeah.
Or to prevent further harm.
Obviously, mom feels very offended. Bet, jā, labi, es nodošu pēc tam tālāk tev atbildi, bet uz doto brīdi ir tā, ka policija ir trenēta, protams. Ja viņi arī zināja, ka tu esi stāvoklī, viņi, ja tev arī grūda uz zemi, tad viņi it kā, esot grūduši tevi ļoti saudzīgi ar domu, lai nevienam nenodarītu pāri, bet, protams, ka tas nav... Jā, that was in front of the child, and she said that obviously that was really.
The only reason I can think why they've done it is because she resisted the arrest in the first place.
Jā,
That's
jā,
what
nu,
often
iespējams,
happens.
policists saka, ka tas tā kā pēc tava nostāsta, tā kā viņi to izdarīja, visticamāk ir tas, ka tu vienkārši tajā brīdī atteicies ar viņiem kooperēt un teici, ka tu tik un tā gribētu braukt vai iebildi, un tad viņiem būtu tas nākošais solis, ka tad viņiem būtu tāds yeah, they asked to sign the paper. Jā. Ok, labi, tu pēc tam ar tevīm aizkadrā pēc tam izrunāsim līdz galam, bet tagad Zārai ļausim pastāstīt, kas notiek šitādās reizēs, labi? Labi, paldies, ka tu pazīji, jā? Okay.
So that's the reason behind it, is obviously officers, they don't know if she's going to go ahead and hurt someone, you know,
Yeah.
hurt another officer. They have to obviously put her in a safe position and prevent any further harm occurring. Hence, you know, they put her in this position, you know, they stopped her. They had to do something about it.
Yeah, and she got this impression that because of Pakistani countries such as all the political stuff what is going on at the moment, the social services and school rate concerned that
I'm sure,
maybe she's
there was a
brainwashed or
reason
something.
behind it, Obviously, you know, police and social services, they can't stop people moving around unless there is a reason, you know, for people to be stopped. And if she resisted
It's actually very unfair and painful story.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That was only start. At this point, father is back in country.
Yeah.
He wants to take the child. Social services and the court saying that you can't take a child because you didn't claim the benefits, and she refused. Latvian parents are fully aware of that society hates us for claiming benefits. She wasn't informed. She didn't make an informed decision when she refused the benefits. Social services at this point looking at this suggestion that, well, you don't act in best interest of your child. When father, Pakistani, came with his new wife, now they're claiming benefits and they're going to take the child. And social services are willing to give this child to them.
Why is that?
Because there is a family, there is a wife and husband, obviously they are Muslims, and child needs to follow the father's steps. Having said that, child been raised for 7 years as a Christian with mom. Father didn't even bother about child for all these 7 years. Now
that's
suddenly they
more
decided
like
the child.
civil matter,
Yeah.
you know, she needs to obviously...
And I'm gonna
speak to
get the
solicitor.
solicitor
Yeah.
because the solicitor that is involved at this point, she says that she don't feel they're acting on child's on her interests. Obviously, she needs to realize that solicitor is acting in child's best of interest. But this is change the solicitor at this point. That's all what I can say at this. And we've got a very good solicitor in mind too.
That's good, yeah.
Mhm.
All I can say is a civil matter. Obviously what social services did, they've used their powers to stop her,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there was a reason behind it. What they normally do is they get in touch with the police and they just ask for assistance if there has to be any physical intervention. Hence the officers were there to physically stop her. Because no disrespect to social workers, but they don't have powers, obviously, to physically stop someone. They obviously have to speak to the police and request police presence to prevent the breach of the peace.
Okay, very last, because I don't think we're gonna manage in time with something else. But I had one client. She is, let's say she's Latvian and he is a different nationality. Father, there was a police called on him because he was in a playground. Child came down from whatever played thingy bob, and he grabbed the child, kissed him, and someone reported as a pedophile.
Not his child, yeah?
That's his child, his own child. So police came, they established instantly that there is no need to intervene, but ever since, families started to discuss about, I don't want to bring my child in UK up because I don't feel welcome. And they started to argue only, they love each other to bits, but they started to argue about country where to settle. Go to Latvia, go to his country, or stay in UK. Now they've got mum, she got a family, and everybody around would be nice family setting. He wanted to go back because he didn't feel safe. What he done, purchased the tickets, and because they couldn't agree with each other, he purchased the ticket for his wife for that following day, but he didn't tell her. He was thinking in his mind that when she sees us gone, she's gonna have to come, and we're gonna talk in my own environment, or even if we visiting only my country with my parents. But let's do something. He just wanted to do something. He wanted to get out of the UK. And next morning when she gets up, she sees that the child is gone. Obviously she is worried. She had suspicions, but it was early when she said, I really couldn't think straight. I called the police straight away. 2 hours later, he is caught. Child is taken away. They found him in an airport, and child is being brought back to mum, and he's in prison. And
for child abduction?
Yeah.
Because he didn't obviously agree with his partner?
Yeah.
That's what the reason
Yeah.
is, because they both has equal custody on this child.
Yeah.
And it needs to be like a collective decision.
And she said that she instantly, in a few hours, she regret calling the police anyway. She said we easily could have managed by talking between each other, but basically, what a long story short is, now he's in prison, and now he's court and judges.
Do we know what sentence he's been given?
No, everything's fine. Judges actually was so sympathetic to them. And he said, my mum said that he was so upset listening all the story that he said, gosh, you are so badly punished already. Don't do that again. Talk to each other.
Yeah.
And just go in peace. Go. There is nothing wrong with you. And they obviously, they love each other. They all love each other. And they don't want any interference. But what happened? They're going out to the court. Social service calls. You can't be with him. You're not allowed to be with him. They say, we're just coming out to the court. The charges are dismissed. Everything is dropped. We're going to talk. We're going to discuss where we go from here. No, you have to go, definitely have to go apart. Otherwise, you're risking to lose your child. Obviously, they are dead scared. They went apart. Father took his matters in his own hands and left the country again. And mum obviously wanted to be with father, and they love each other. There is nothing wrong in the family. Never been any arguments, anything, just argument about where to settle. And mum left the country as well. They are together now in his home. But the question for them is, what to expect if they decide to come back? Will they be arrested on a border?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know how far this case is going.
This is going to be solicitor definitely again.
Speak to a solicitor, yeah, to find out what's what. Social services and children's services that only get involved for the safety of the child. If they think there is a concern about the child, they would have, eventually win it back and just go back to normal. But for that time, they should have stayed separated until social services.
Even though the first question for the family was, if the judges told us go in peace on forget everything, all charges are dropped. can social services actually overturn his decision?
Possibly, yeah, if a concern for a child has been raised, they have to do their own investigation and, you know, to give their own professional judgment.
Mm-hmm.
How powerful that is, I cannot answer the question.
Obviously,
already.
social services have to
Yeah.
go in with the, work
Yeah.
with the
Yeah,
judge.
work along with the child, with the mother, even with the father. They may have to, you know, start, you know, with meetings between them three, and then, you know, work gradually from there, and eventually, you know, allow father to go back to the family.
Is there any chance actually that family, once they got kind of like hooked on police and social services, how they can get out of the list of families to be watched for? Basically, what the families always
When
can
the case
say.
is closed, when
Yeah.
the case is over, then obviously, you know, that's going to be it.
But they always, in most circumstances, we always been told that we are watching you. You're never gonna be
I
alone
don't know,
ever again.
obviously, you know, details, but if they're out from the country, this case could
Yeah, out of
already
the country,
be
yeah.
closed now, you know, until, you know, any further information is received. Again, you know, my advice is to speak to a solicitor.
Yeah.
Because very often in those kind of situations, you know, there's nothing criminal, it's all civil matter, and solicitor will give the best advice.
Okay, I don't think we're expecting any calls anymore because
Yeah?
if we can, we're
Yeah,
a
okay.
bit longer than we are. If we can finish with this lot.
Yeah, just to mention, I
Yeah.
brought loads of information related to domestic abuse. It's very important to remember it's not only the women victims of domestic abuse. Could be men, could be anybody really. And I just brought along information with some useful numbers and you know, for people how to report domestic abuse. Obviously leaflet about women refugee.
Jā.
Sometimes, you know,
Es rītā viņiem šo visu palikšu komentos zem šitā video, visu šo informāciju mēs paņemsim vai nu
this one is in
sameklēsim.
Latvian as well.
Vai ne?
Probably be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't suffer in silence. Women's refuge. What they do, how they protect females, because that's only for women. The refuge, but generally there is help available out there for everyone. This one is the WASH, which is relevant to Spalding area, Spalding Holwich, Second Bridge, and it gives us some important numbers.
This is for women. Yeah.
This is just for everyone.
Yeah.
Male advice line, that's for males. Citizen Advice Bureau, Lone Parent Helpline, Victim Support, Child Line, Rape Crisis Line, everything. Normally our victims of rapes, and that's very quick explanation, and I'm jumping from one subject to another. They're taken to the Spring Lodge, which is a place in Lincoln. It's where people get a lot of support for, obviously, you know, they discuss with professional people and go through details, you know, how they've been sexually assaulted, etc., etc. They get to know professionals there and work with them to obviously, you know, overcome, you know, what happened. Spring Lodge, I've been there a few times supporting people, victims of obviously rape and sexual assaults, and they're brilliant there. They give you all the confidence you need, you know.
So that would be something what we would advise our
Yeah.
first call.
Yeah.
The girl who actually called for
Yeah.
about the landlord actually.
Yeah, definitely. And just some no means no, that's again the Spring Lodge, when people get checked and, you know, obviously get helped. If
These
there's
bracelets are available in our office
yeah,
from tomorrow.
and lots of pens. You can come and get a no means no, which means, you know, people should know how to fight it and how to protect themselves and to take them off further. And leaflets about domestic abuse. And these are, they were given for me from a domestic abuse officers in Boston. Again, useful numbers for Boston, East Lindsey, Lincolnshire community.
Oh, this is very handy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask my girls to
Yeah.
to
Fill it
scan tomorrow
Yeah.
because this is something basically form of filling how to report, what needs to be said, and what details need to be recorded.
Yeah, they're really good, those little diaries. They've got
Date of incident,
notes.
place of incident,
Yeah.
Offender's name.
Stalking, harassment, internet safety. This one is very popular. Safety at home, safety planning with the children. Some suggestions. Living after you leave the abusing relationship. There is so much help there, and it's unbelievable. And I can reassure you, everyone could be a subject to an abusive relationship, including police officers. I've seen a lot of my colleagues in that situation, and they did get a lot of help through all them agencies available to help and support, the victims. Yeah, so it's really good. If you need any information, obviously come to the office, speak to Laima, and she'll point you in the right direction. Thank you very much for watching us and listening to us tonight.
Jā, mēs esam bišķiņ pārvilkuši pārstarību, bija paredzēta stunda, bet visu pārējo, ko mēs neesam paspējuši, mēs rītā zem šī video paliksim apakšā komentos. Ja?
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.